and 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And another day of fog for us coming up that hill this morning.
Yes, dense fog in those higher elevations this morning. So if you're heading out into those hilltops, budget a few extra minutes. In fact, maybe a few extra tens of minutes in some spots how dense some of the fog is.
Wow.
In fact, a live look at those visibility conditions. We don't have visibility sensors over a lot of central New York, but you can tell there are some spots with near zero visibility. In fact, updating minute by minute right there. But regardless, the hilltops here in central New York, lower visibility, less than a mile. And in the live look at Oneonta, you can see some faint fog in the distance, but I'd show you our Caveat Tower camera right now, but it's extremely foggy. Well, actually, I'll show it right now. We'll see how dense it is. Look how foggy it is there. You can barely see the cars in the parking lot. But again, temperatures this morning in the 50s. It's a mild start, not a stormy start like we saw yesterday. In fact, we're not tracking any more significant rain showers, not only for today, but potentially for the next several. So again, today, a misty, foggy, damp start with the temperatures in the 50s, warming up into the mid-60s this afternoon with peaks of sunshine by the evening. We're tracking this dry stretch to continue. I'll let you know exactly how long it lasts in that full forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning,
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. The time now is 5:13. We're talking about the CommuteCast as you head to work today and on your commute home. Brought to you by Munson. And again, starting out, a live look at those roads all across the area. Now, these are all in the lower elevations. And aside from damp conditions, light mist on your windshield, it doesn't really impact unless you head up to the higher elevations, that low cloud layer, very dense fog on those hilltops. But besides that, you can see here those drive times on those roadways that are not going through those hilltops looking pretty okay. Secondly, if you're heading both eastbound and westbound to Utica, either to Rome or to Mohawk, drive times looking okay. And then finally, if you're in Otsego County heading north or south, drive times looking normal. And same thing if you're heading north of Utica through Route 12 to Remsen or back down. And again, this morning, it's a foggy start in some spots. Heads up for that. Budget a few extra minutes if you are planning on heading into higher elevations. But besides that, if you are just driving through Utica or from New Hartford to Utica or any other lower elevations, you should be okay. And this afternoon, of course, that fog lifts. Sunshine will peak out and temperatures warm up into the mid to upper 60s. Gary?
Eric, thanks. New York State now has a new scholarship program in place. It provides tuition to 500.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy May 1st. It's a mild start. Thankfully, not nearly as busy as yesterday morning with just some light mist and some dense fog in some spots. A live look at downtown Utica right now. We can see that those damp conditions all across the area. And again this morning, it's overall pretty dry. Of course, you might have to use your windshield wipers for that mist early today. But again, it's a mild start, 52 degrees, a light wind from the west with pretty high dew points as well. Something I mentioned too, it was busy yesterday. I wasn't able to get to that just quite yet, but sunset time is now past 8 p.m. We have a post 8 p.m. sunset time now here in central New York, which is great news for those of you who want to spend extra time outside in the evenings. Bad news for me because I got to get up early. Radar is showing some mist pushing through central New York, but that's about it. No downpours, no thunder, no lightning, but while we're at it, I want to talk about the changes we're going to be experiencing this month for May. First off, temperature climbing about 10 degrees more than average. Same thing for the average low, rising about 10 degrees between the 1st and the 31st of this month. Sunset and sunrise times, our sunset time will be, well, not at 5:24, I'll correct that, but sunset time at 8:33 p.m. as we head into the rest of this month. But regardless, we're gaining 1 hour of daylight, not nearly as much that we saw in March and April with the fast-changing season, but again, 1 hour more, and then we enter our final stretch of longer days before things will start to shorten as we head into the end of June. Rainfall outlook, well, we got a dry day today, dry weather for tomorrow and Friday, besides a few passing light brief showers overnight. The pattern does favor mainly dry weather, but rain showers unfortunately return, you guessed it, for the weekend as we head into Saturday and Sunday. And that could bring down the pollen counts a little bit on the weekend, but regardless, next 3 days, high pollen count levels, tree pollen being the main culprit, maple, juniper, and birch. The top suppliers of pollen in the air here locally. And so this morning, 50s, patchy fog, cloudy skies, and mist. This afternoon, we'll start to see those clouds clear, temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 60s. And then following this evening and tonight, a few passing clouds. And then by tomorrow morning, lows only in the mid to low 50s, with initially some patchy fog, then partly cloudy to partly sunny skies by the afternoon, but overall not too bad with barely any rain showers here in our skycast the next few days as we warm up into the low 70s by Friday. But for today, high of 67, decreasing clouds. Tonight, a low 51 with partly cloudy skies. Your 7-day forecast. Next 3 days, not too bad. Rain arrives late Saturday, overnight into Sunday. We're going to fine-tune the timing of those rain showers as the days get closer, but for now we're going to leave rain showers in for both days. We dry it again on Monday, but again, following the rain showers yesterday, Gary.
Yep.
Nice 3 days stretch right here.
Yeah, we're loving it.
3 days of dry weather.
Just like McDonald's.
We're loving it.
We're loving it. Well, Bassett Medical Center in Cooperstown is getting a new 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we are in for 3 straight nice days you're mentioning, right?
Yeah, that's right. We had to get through the rain showers yesterday, as we mentioned, and now we're entering a pretty quiet stretch. It's foggy out there, though, this morning, so for those of you heading out, budget maybe a few extra minutes if you're heading out to the higher elevations. In fact, look at that visibility here across central New York. Again, we don't have fog sensors over a lot of the area, but what you can see is there are locations with near 0 mile visibility. And up here in Smith Hill, I would say maybe nothing more than 15, 20 feet ahead of you visibility, if that's as dense a fog as you can imagine. Now, in Oneonta right now, you can see in the distance some patchy fog, but in the city itself, things are looking pretty clear. You got some sunshine peeking out. And these stubborn clouds this morning will eventually, of course, give way to that sunshine. And again, it's a mild start. Temperatures in the 50s. It's misty out there, too, so you might have to run your windshield wipers for at least a couple of times here. As you can see, the mist is slowly exiting our region to the south and to the east. And for today, these clouds this morning give way to sunshine by this evening, with temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 60s. We are tracking, yet again, more dry weather as we approach the next few days. We'll talk about that in that early weekend forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thank you. Pro-Palestinian protests.
Welcome back. It's 5:41, and before I even get to the weather photo today, we have gotten so many fantastic submissions. It's getting extremely difficult to choose the best photos. And again, even if I don't pick your photo, it's not that it's not good, it's that we have so many to choose from and not enough days to show it. Maybe we might do multiple photos, but then again, I still want to mainly focus on a single photo for the day. But regardless, this is a photo submitted to us yesterday from Lee, and is a red admiral butterfly on one of the dandelions taken here locally. So first butterfly picture of the year. We had several bird pictures, several flower pictures. We have some nice spring-like pictures submitted as well. Spring scenes from across the area. We'll showcase those in the days ahead. But again, if you want to submit a photo like that one, send to the link, wktv.com/weather/pics. Now, this morning, again, mild start, 50s across the area. It's damp, it's misty, it's foggy, dense fog in some spots. And throughout the day today, we climb up into the mid-60s. And the next few days, not too bad, 60 to 70s, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Although the warmest days in the next 5 will be on Friday. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The first of 4 eggs.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Say goodbye to widespread rain and thunderstorms as that has departed us yesterday. Besides some lingering mist and patchy fog this morning, we're entering a dry stretch the next few days. A live look at downtown Utica. Again, from our Cabby Tower camera. A bit hard to see out there, but across a lot of our region right now in the lower elevations, not too bad. You can see a bit damp out there, light mist falling in a lot of spots, and a mild start. Temperatures in the low 50s with some notable dew points as well. And the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we're seeing that mist push through the area, those light green patches here and there. But as we head into the first days of May, we'll showcase the May's changing weather. First off, the temperature between the first of the month and the last of the month climbs roughly around 10 or so degrees, both with the average high and the average low. Regarding sunrise and sunset times, take a look at this right here. Sunset time today at 8:02 p.m. After this month, 8:33. So 8:30 onward sunset. We are gaining 1 total hour of daylight for the next 31 days. So great news on the daylight front. Rainfall outlook, well, we have several days of dry weather, if you can believe it or not. Wednesday, today, Thursday, and Friday, mainly dry weather, aside from a few spotty rain showers overnight. Things looking to be, again, on the dry side, but yet again, rain showers look to arrive as we head into Saturday. But with the dry weather, of course, those pollen counts are on the rise again. High to very high pollen levels, with tree pollen being maple, juniper, and birch the primary culprits here in central New York. And so in our Skycast this morning, we are starting out with fog, clouds, and mild conditions. These clouds will burn off by the early afternoon with partly sunny skies to partly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Following that, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies tonight, and then by tomorrow morning, another pretty pleasant day. The winds will be notable. Temperatures will be in the 60s though, and we'll be seeing a good amount of sunshine here and there, and still dry weather looks to linger on into most of Friday. But for today, high 67, decreasing clouds. By tonight, we're down into the low 50s with partly cloudy skies. Your 7-day forecast, again, we've got 1, 2, 3 days of dry weather here in our local area. Upper 60s, low 70s, the average highs. And then following that, though, rain chances look to return as we head into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And following that, dry weather moves in by Monday, a high of 67. We'll be right back.
News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And welcome to May, right?
May 1st is here, and the year is just zooming by. And on top of that, it's a mild one, if that, to start of the day, but
A little bit of fog.
a little bit of fog. Maybe that's an understatement, too. It was very foggy up here in Smith Hill. So again, if you're heading out this morning, watch out for some patches of dense fog. In fact, look at those conditions out there this morning. Again, we don't have fog sensors in every corner of New York State, but what you can see is there are patches of near zero visibility. In fact, on our drive up here in Smith Hill, in the hilltops, in the low cloud layer, there was less than, I would say, 30 or so feet of visibility in front of the vehicle. So heads up for that. But a live look at Oneonta. We are seeing that cloud layer just to the distance, some patchy fog in the border of Delaware County just beyond I-88 in the far distance. And besides the fog, besides the mist, it's a mild start to the day. Temperatures in the 50s, 52 in Rome and 52 in Hamilton. And the radar showing, besides the light mist, relatively dry weather. And for today, A cloudy start. These clouds will decrease as that sunshine moves in the afternoon. High temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 60s. So overall, pretty pleasant day today. No significant rainfall is expected. And following this, we have the potential of seeing more days of dry weather. We'll talk about that in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning, one person.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. Time now for your Munson Commutecast as we take a look at road conditions for heading to work today and, of course, heading home in your evening commute. First off, a live look at those road conditions all across central New York. And so far, besides being a damp start with some light mist, not too bad. However, there are very foggy spots in higher elevations to look out for as that low cloud layer is still clinging to locations here locally. Just a heads up for that. If you're heading to those hilltops, might budget an extra minute or so to drive through that because you might have to slow down. Very low visibility, especially here on Smith Hill and Deerfield. Besides that, those roads in the lower elevations, not too bad. You can see I-90 right here in the arterial in downtown Utica at this point. Same thing for Route 5S and Route 49 if you're heading to Mohawk or Rome today. And then lastly, if you're heading from Cooperstown to I-90 along German Flats, Route 28, we're looking pretty okay right there. Drive time around 30 plus minutes. And then finally from Utica north, drive time looking pretty okay as well. But again, heading out this morning, patchy, dense fog in some locations. But that's about it travel issue wise. This afternoon, that fog, those clouds burn off, and we're tracking some sunshine moving in as we approach the evening commute. Gary?
Eric, thanks. New York State now has a new scholarship program in
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Compared to yesterday, today is looking not too bad with a less stormy start. Matter of fact, just some light mist and some patchy, dense fog. Matter of fact, let's take a live look at Oneonta right now. Look at the scene right here. This was clear or clearish a few moments ago. The sun in the distance right there getting blocked out by this cloud layer, which is now covering most of the camera on Hartwick College overlooking the city. And again, in some higher elevations today, this is what you could be seeing. Very reduced visibility. But in downtown Utica, you can see in the backdrop right there, in the lowest elevations, that fog is not dense at all. In fact, it's mainly higher up. But it's a mild start. 52 degrees start at your day today with calm winds. And the radar is picking up some light mist pushing through the area, but that's about it rain-wise. Besides that, things are trending more on the dry side as we head throughout the next few days. But a reminder though, again, it's May 1st. Happy May 1st, everyone. We have a look at the changes we'll be seeing this month. First off, average temperature goes up right around 10 degrees, both for the average high and the average low between now and the 31st of May. Secondly, looking at the changing sunrise and sunset times, we are just before 6 a.m. right now. We'll be before 5:30 in the morning by the 31st. Sunset will be after 8:30 come March 31st. So we're entering our final stretch of warming days, and as well as that, also the days gaining sunlight. 1 hour of daylight gained this month, and then following, of course, the summer solstice, first day of summer next month, we'll start to see that decline in daylight hours. But again, regarding rainfall, not too bad the next few days. Dry weather today, tomorrow and Friday. So 3 full days of dry weather, if you believe it or not, but typical with this weather pattern. Of course, here comes the weekend and here comes the rain chances. So we're going to keep an eye on the rain potential for this coming weekend. Regardless, though, pollen counts will continue to rise, at least for the next few days, with tree pollen being the main culprit. So today you can see those morning clouds whisking away to some sunshine and partly sunny skies by this afternoon, and temperatures climbing into the 60s, and then partly cloudy tonight. Dry weather expected for the most part tomorrow, and temperatures in the 60s with increased winds as well. But again, for today, a high 67, decreasing clouds, a beautiful day. Tonight, a low 51 under partly cloudy skies. your 7-day forecast. 1, 2, and 3 days of mainly dry weather here in central New York, if you can believe it or not. Following that, though, rain returns Saturday and Sunday, but not too bad temperature-wise the next few days, with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Gary?
Eric, thanks. As problems continue to plague
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And I know you and I had to deal with that fog this morning, which was quite thick, and some folks still have to deal with it at this hour.
Yes, and you saw in the Cavity Tower camera, a lot of dense fog in the higher elevations. In fact, look at the visibility conditions across a lot of New York State. And we're talking about visibility in some spots near zero. For example, Ithaca down there, 0-mile visibility. And with the fog this morning, some spots we're thinking maybe 25, 30 feet of visibility ahead of you, but it's mainly for the higher elevations. However, that is changing in some spots. For example, Oneonta, about an hour ago, you could actually see the sunrise. Well, not so much now. A dense fog layer has moved in. And temperatures, besides that, starting out pretty mild. They've got misty conditions, damp weather, and temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s. And we can see that mist on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 with live radar moving it more and more eastbound. And following that today, again, morning clouds give way to afternoon peaks of sunshine, partly sunny skies expected, and temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 60s. And not only is the weather remaining dry for today, we have the potential of seeing multiple days of dry weather. We'll talk about that in that full forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Pro-Palestinian protests continue.
Welcome back. Before we get to the photo of the day, I want to mention that we have gotten a lot of submissions with not only the past day, but the past week. So many that I wish I could show multiple ones, at least whenever you show every picture, but for now, I'll showcase the one submitted in Lee of a red admiral butterfly, the first butterfly photo we've gotten submitted so far this season. Keep sending in those spring pictures, everyone. We'll try our best to showcase all the great photos you guys submit. Send to the link on top of your screen if you wish to, wktv.com/weather/pics. Include your name too if you want credit for your picture. We always want to showcase the great photographers we have here, showcasing the beauty of our local area here in central New York. Temperatures this morning are in the 50s right now. 50 degrees Otter Lake, 52 Whitesboro, 54 degrees in Cooperstown. And those temperatures today will climb into the mid to upper 60s. But following that, we have a pretty nice mild stretch the next few days. 71 the high on Friday, 64 the high on Saturday, and low 60s on Sunday with some rain chances during the weekend. But overall, we're not looking at 40s or 30-degree days anymore as that higher sun angle approaches us for the rest of the month. We're talking about the changes we'll be seeing for the month ahead in that full forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The first of 4A.
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. About 24 hours ago, a much different scene here in central New York with some thunderstorms rolling through, downpours, thunder and lightning. But this morning, patchy fog, but much less rain. Just a light mist taking some parts of the area. Live look at downtown Utica right now, at least in Oneonta. We are seeing, of course, a lot of that dense fog still in parts of the region, especially in the higher elevations. But heading to downtown Utica, below the cloud layer, things are pretty okay. Temperature 52 degrees, light mist, calm winds, still a little bit damp out there. And the radar, we can actually see some of that mist pushing through parts of central New York early this morning, and will eventually dry out as we approach the afternoon. But happy May 1st, everyone. We have a look at May's changing weather. First off, average high for today, 62, average low 41. By the end of the month, average high is 73, warming up a lot. Average low 51, warming up about 10 or so degrees. Regarding the sunrise and sunset times, we go from a before 6 a.m. sunrise to before 5:30 sunrise by the end of the month, and an after 8:30 sunset by May 31st. And so again, we're gaining 1 hour of daylight this month, and expect, of course, longer days lasting until 8:30 in the evening. Regarding rainfall, though, the good news is we're seeing dry weather lasting for today, tomorrow, and pretty much all of Friday. Aside from a stray light shower overnight, looking at a pretty dry weather pattern. Unfortunately, though, as with the past pattern we've seen, rain showers look to arrive yet again by the weekend. But with the dry weather and the stronger winds, of course, the pollen counts will be at a very high level again, as we are still in the peak of pollen season. The main culprits in currently tree pollen with maple, juniper, and birch. But to our skycast today, again, we're talking about patchy fog this morning and misty conditions. These clouds will clear out as we approach the late morning to early afternoon. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Partly sunny skies this evening and tonight, and then looking at partly cloudy to mostly clear skies by early tomorrow morning. Another nice day. Winds pick up, though, with highs in the 60s by tomorrow afternoon. But for today, though, a high of 67, decreasing clouds. Not too bad of an afternoon. Tonight, a low 51 under partly cloudy skies. And your 7-day forecasts. We've got 3 days of mainly dry weather, upper 60s, low 70s. Following that, though, rain showers arrive on the weekend. But again, we're not too bad temperatures for the next 7 or so days. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Well, those who know music in this area certainly know.
Now, the news with Gary Lipitor and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the CW11. I'm Gary Lipitor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
With some fog still out there at this hour.
Yes, a foggy start, a misty start. It's a mild one, too, but let's take a look at those foggy conditions across parts of New York State. Some locations seeing near zero visibility, especially in those hilltops. We have some dense fog with, I would say, visibility maybe 20, 30 feet maximum in some locations. You can see in Oneonta right now, the fog has lifted a little bit after the fog passed over the camera within the past hour. But overall, it's a very damp and misty start to the day. Current temperature 52 degrees in Rome, 50 in Hamilton. On the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we are seeing some of this mist push through, but following this, temperatures warm up. We gradually dry out as clouds give way to mostly cloudy skies by the late morning and then partly sunny skies by the afternoon as temperatures climb into the mid to upper 60s. So dry weather expected today, no heavy rain showers or thunderstorms expected. And on top of that, we could be seeing multiple days of dry weather. We'll talk about that in that full forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Pro-Palestinian protests
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Into the 60s by this afternoon with temperatures, again, pretty mild this time of year. In fact, right around average. But a live look at our camera downtown Utica from the Nexus Center. You can see how right now it's not too bad of a start in the downtown area, but the hilltops are seeing some pretty dense fog early this morning. But again, mild start, 52 degrees start for today. Temperature again in the 50s with a decent wind of 5 miles per hour from the west-northwest. And the radar picking up on that faint light mist in the lower atmosphere early this morning. And that will continue for the remainder of the next few hours before clouds will decrease and sunshine moves in by the afternoon. But recapping what's going to be a sunnier month ahead, May's changing weather. Up about 10 degrees warmer between now and the last day of the month for the end of May. Regarding sunrise and sunset times, well, sunrise will eventually be before 5:30 and sunset will be after 8:30 in the evening. So again, we are continuing an hour more of daylight expected for this entire month. And speaking of sunshine, well, we could be seeing plenty of it the next few days. So there'll still be some stubborn clouds in the atmosphere, but mainly dry weather expected between now through Friday. However, rain showers will return again as we head into the weekend on Saturday. And with this dry weather, of course, pollen count will be on the rise. Very high pollen levels for today through Friday, with the main culprits being tree pollen. Our skycast showing clouds, mist, patchy fog early this morning. This fog will lift. We'll see some peaks of sunshine by this afternoon. and temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 60s. So a pretty pleasant afternoon. Winds will be notable though, and the winds will still remain on the breezy side into tonight with partly cloudy skies expected. Then for the next few days, a mixture of some clouds and sunshine and temperatures climbing into the 60s, and on Friday, a little bit warmer. And so again, for today, decreasing clouds, a high of 67 degrees by tonight. Partly cloudy, a low of 51. Your 7-day forecast. We got nice weather the next few days. Upper 60s, low 70s. Overnight lows, not falling below freezing too. That's some good news for those of you who have plants. You don't have to cover them at least for the next few days. Unfortunately though, rain chances return by the weekend. Temperatures cooling down a little bit into the mid to low 60s, but sunshine looks to return following the weekend on Monday by next week.
Eric Gage joining us now with a first look at the forecast, and things are clearing out.
Yeah, a little bit. It's going to take its sweet time this afternoon with some stubborn clouds still sticking around, but some sunshine is already starting to peek out in some locations. Let's take a look at that live satellite feed right now. And notice, of course, we got some lingering clouds over a lot of the Mohawk Valley, North Country, and parts of southern valleys, but we're seeing some windows clearing out here to the south and to the west. And we got a lot of lingering low-level moisture. That's the winds clearing things out are still having to battle near the boundary layer. But on the Imaginet camera network, we're seeing, you can see here, sunshine peeking out a little bit down in Sherburne and Brookfield, while still some stubborn clouds are sticking around in a lot of other spots north and east, but warming up into the upper 50s at this point. 57 in Rome, 59 in Hamilton. And of course, the radar is looking pretty dry. We have maybe a small chance for a light rain shower late tonight from a passing weak front, but that's our best chance of seeing any sort of precipitation over the next few days, as we are tracking more dry weather, not only for today, but also for the next few. We're talking about that in that full forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Now to anti-war pro.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back, everyone. The time now is 12:11, and after a damp, misty, and in some spots very densely foggy morning, things are starting to dry out a little bit. Now we're still dealing with some patchy, I would say, cloudy skies. In fact, some spots even much more cloudy and overcast across the area. Here's a live look at downtown Utica right now. Still looking at overcast skies here locally, but things are continuing to clear as we head into the next few hours. In fact, current temperature 58 degrees, so warming up a few degrees compared to this morning. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Overall, pretty dry. And this will be a common trend for the next few days. No more rain showers expected in the evening. No more window of dry weather. Go out and enjoy it while you can. You have plenty of time today, tomorrow, and Friday to any outdoor activities, yard work, whatnot. Great weather for that. Temperatures today are going to feel a little cooler into the upper 60s by late this evening. But besides that, overall pretty average day. And again, it's dry for today, tomorrow, and Friday, if you can believe it or not. 3 days of dry weather here in early May. And following that, unfortunately though, rain looks to make its return as we head into the weekend, as with this weather pattern we've been seeing for the past few weeks. And another unfortunate thing though, pollen counts will be on the high side the next few days as winds pick up and dry weather does move in. Tree pollen still being pretty prevalent in our area. So morning fog and misty conditions gave way to still mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. But we're starting to see some of that clearing take place within the next few hours as that low moisture gets mixed out of the lower atmosphere. And then following that, again tonight, partly cloudy skies, lows fall back down into the low 50s. And then by tomorrow, a dry start, dry afternoon, and dry evening. The only thing though is a weak frontal boundary overnight, as I mentioned with those partly cloudy skies, could produce a brief light sprinkle. But that's the best chance of rain we'll see for the next few days, as high pressure pretty much drives our weather for the rest of the work week. But again, for today, high 67 degrees, decreasing clouds, not too bad of a day for the start of May. And by tonight, a low of 51 with partly cloudy skies. Your 7-day forecast, we've got 60s and 70s the next few days. A bit cool on the weekend, dodging yet again some more rain showers. 60s to 70s by next week, so no below freezing temperatures, no alarming highs or lows. So pretty average first week of May. And again, coming up in the next half hour, we're going to talk about the changing conditions for the first month or first few days into the month, the daylight changing as well as the temperature changes throughout the entire month.
We'll enjoy these 3 days. Eric, thanks. Well, the cargo ship that crashed into the Francis Gage joining us now, and 3 nice days starting today.
Yes, that's right. After a rainy day yesterday, things are starting to dry out as well, and it's also May 1st. Happy May 1st, Gary.
Yeah, happy May 1st, everyone.
And May 1st brings changing weather. In fact, let's look at the temperature changes we'll be seeing over the next few days and into the rest of the month. First off, between now and the 31st, our average high goes from 62 to 73. Our average overnight low goes from 41 to 51. And how about that sunlight change? Well, between the 1st and 31st, our sunrise goes before 5:30 in the morning, and our sunset is after 8:30. So a much longer day is expected by the end of the month. And overall, again, we gain 1 total hour of daylight between now and the 31st of the month. But back to the weather today. Again, we're dealing with some stubborn clouds right now. Some clearing is currently taking place as we take a look at parts of Sherburne and Brookfield at this point. And it's going to take another few hours for these clouds to clear out of a lot of central New York. But it is warming up. Temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s. Radar, of course, is quiet and dry, and expect this dry pattern to last, not only for today, but for the next few. We only have a very small chance of rain between now and Friday. We'll talk about that timing in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Well, quite the collision.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. It's turning out to be a cloudy but dry day so far. And these clouds will continue to decrease throughout the afternoon with partly sunny skies expected by the evening. In fact, you can see some of the clearing taking place on our Oneonta camera atop Partway College. You can see some of those faint blue skies in between that cloud layer. And again, it's a pretty mild early afternoon, upper 50s in Oneonta, upper 50s as well in Utica with calm winds and temperatures warming up a few more degrees this afternoon. The radar, aside from a stray single shower east of Speculator, overall things are looking pretty dry. And we have a low chance of a light shower as a weakened moisture-starved cold front moves through overnight tonight, but that's the best chance we'll see rain-wise until this coming weekend. So enjoy the dry weather while we have it. Upper 60s expected this afternoon with dew points feeling a little bit humid. It doesn't feel nearly as humid as yesterday. And right on average for this time of year with normal high of 64 degrees. And again, as I mentioned, we're entering a dry stretch of weather today through Thursday and Friday. Mainly dry weather, little to no rainfall is expected. However, rain will eventually arrive as we head into Saturday. Either that or Saturday night. We're going to fine-tune the arrival time of the rain, but regardless, a system is going to approach central New York throughout the weekend. But with the dry weather, the pollen count is also on the rise again. Very high pollen levels are expected for today, tomorrow, and Friday. The top culprits being maple, juniper, and birch. Our Skycast on this May 1st showing, again, a very damp, misty start, giving way to mostly cloudy skies, and then partly sunny skies by this afternoon with temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 60s. Then following this, temperatures will cool back down into the low 50s with that passing front and then partly clear to partly cloudy skies overnight. And then you can see here, sunshine over some parts of the area tomorrow, maybe some lingering clouds in the highest elevations north. So We're not seeing wall-to-wall sunshine, but we do have a few breaks here and there between now and the end of the work week. But for today, though, decreasing clouds slowly, temperatures in the upper 60s for highs. Tonight, down in the low 50s with partly cloudy skies. Your 7-day forecast. We've got 60s and 70s the next few days. Overnight lows not looking to fall quite below freezing. In fact, no lows we'll expect to fall into the 30s at this point. Again, rain showers arriving later on Saturday and Sunday. But again, 3 days of dry weather. We'll take this.
Yeah, get out there, golfers.
Get out and golf. It may be cloudy, maybe a little breezy, but
Yeah.
what wind will affect golf balls, you know?
It wouldn't hurt mine anyway.
Yeah,
they're all over the place.
Yeah, mine are right in the water anyway, so wind will help.
That's for sure. And stay with us. More news is up next.
We're going to be May. It is May. Happy May 1st.
May the 1st be with you? No, the 3 more days.
Yeah, 3 more days. So you got
Better
a head start
better
on it.
than May the Frost. Are we done with that?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Still
I
got
know
you.
this is the deceptive time of the year. You get days like today. Look at this, 68 degrees. The sun is out. The rain is a distant memory. We're outside enjoying weather like this, right? Well, if you didn't do it today, you have a few more days ahead. We can still get cold weather at night. There's no frost in the 7-day forecast, but this is a reminder that it is still too early to plant certain types of plants that are sensitive to frost. So I'll have a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's quiet. The dry weather continues. The breeze picks up tomorrow, so there's going to be a slightly higher risk for brush fire weather, where any brush fires could spread quicker due to the conditions. Rain does return as we head into the weekend. This evening, temperatures will be in the 60s, partly sunny skies. Again, tracking a couple of nice days ahead before the weather turns. A look at the forecast that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The Genesis Group today brought dozens of options.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A very pleasant finish to the day. Seeing plenty of sunshine out there, and that will continue as we head into this evening. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region. The warm weather bringing life back to central New York. The birds are back. The hummingbirds are in. This picture from Caroline Creaser in Barneveld, the first sighting for her. And we're starting to hear a lot of first sightings of hummingbirds across the region. They're a little bit early. Usually it's Mother's Day when they return. But we've had some pretty warm weather here this spring, and it's been a very warm winter as well. Reminder, even though we've been getting a lot of rain, we have actually an elevated risk for brush fires spreading tomorrow, and it's mainly due to low humidity as well as breezy conditions. And it doesn't take much to dry out quickly this time of the year. So again, just be mindful that a statewide burn ban remains in effect until May 14th. Live look in downtown Utica. This kind of looks like a video postcard. Really pleasant conditions across the region. Also, too, as we get sunnier days ahead, as we get closer to the summer solstice, the sun angle is very high this time of the year. You're going to want to start regularly wearing sunscreen, especially during the hours of 10 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, where the sun is highest in the sky. Temperatures are in the upper 60s, even a few spots in the 70s. Little Falls 72, Dallasville 69, 76 in Sherburne, Oneonta 70 degrees, Cooperstown 68. High pressure taking over after yesterday's clouds and showers in the wake of a cold front. And pretty quiet weather here for the short term. Not much will change between now and Friday. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, partly cloudy skies tonight. Some patchy fog is possible first thing tomorrow morning. Temperatures drop into the low to mid 50s. Sunshine tomorrow, a breeze, pleasant, slightly cooler than today, but still a very nice day with high temperatures in the mid 60s. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows drop down into the 40s. And Friday is looking pleasant and warmer. We should make it close to 70 as we head into Friday afternoon. Forecast for tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 53. Tomorrow, partly sunny and breezy, temperatures in the mid 60s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. We are still keeping an eye on the weekend. It looks wet both Saturday and Sunday. The rain looks to be later in the day Saturday. It looks like last Saturday where it starts out dry and finishes wet. Sunday, scattered showers, temperatures in the upper 50s. Monday, the sunshine comes back out, temperatures in the 60s, and then we're into the 70s Tuesday and Wednesday.
Wow. All right, Bill, thank you.
Well, it's opening day let's get you back to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis talking about that burn ban.
Yeah, tomorrow we're looking at conditions that favor brush fire spread. Breezy conditions, low humidity. I know it's been wet lately, but because the leaves aren't fully on the trees yet and we have a high sun angle, it tends to dry out very quickly. So just be mindful of this tomorrow, and just a reminder that burn ban is in effect until May 14th. So we've got about 2 more weeks left for that. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look pretty quiet. It is a lovely evening across central New York. Temperatures are going to stay in the upper 60s. We're looking at plenty of sunshine and a very comfortable evening to take the dog out for a walk. Tonight's featured dog is Dixie from Salisbury Center. If you want to be part of this, you can submit photos on Facebook. Just search for Skycast WKTV. This is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. We've got a couple of nice days ahead before the weather turns. And look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
All right, Bill, thanks. Water Safari's neighbor,
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A lovely finish to the day. It started out dreary, but we did see some sunshine as expected, and it looks to be a very nice evening to get out and enjoy. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Life is returning to central New York, and it's nice to see all kinds of different birds migrating back to our area. This picture from Marcia in Ilion. The hummingbirds are back as well. Again, it's just very encouraging to see that. It is a little bit early for some types of birds to be here. Hummingbirds, for example, usually come in around Mother's Day, but they are a little bit early this year. Current temperature downtown Utica now presently 68 degrees. Again, the sun is shining brightly. I know it's been relatively warm recently, but this is just a reminder that don't get ahead of yourself with planting. We can still get frost. I don't see any in the next 7 days, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods heading into the middle of May. Our average last frost is typically the middle of May for the Mohawk Valley and late May for the higher elevations surrounding the valley. It could be as late as early June, at least that's what the climate stats say, for parts of the Adirondacks. Lovely day today in the 70s in Syracuse, but again, Rome, 68 degrees, 68 in Hamilton. We're looking at dry and sunny weather this evening. The weather remains pretty quiet. This area of cloud cover is generally going to miss us to the north as we head into tonight. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, again, we're dry overnight. There could be some patchy fog late tonight and into early tomorrow. Looking at sunshine here as we head into Thursday morning. And again, it looks dry throughout Thursday afternoon. The breeze kicks up, and it looks slightly cooler than today. The wind comes in from the west between about 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts over 20 at times. So that'll be a difference compared to today. The weather looks on the cooler side tomorrow night. We'll drop down into the 40s. Friday looks nice. Starts out with some clouds. We'll finish with sunshine, and it looks warmer Friday afternoon, less windy with high temperatures near 70 degrees. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Winds go calm. Again, watch out for some patchy fog as we head into tomorrow morning. Beautiful day tomorrow, slightly cooler than today, breezy too, and also drier. A high of 65. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. 71 on Friday, partly sunny skies. We do have rain in store for the weekend. It looks like that rain arrives late Saturday. It might start out dry in the morning, just like last Saturday. A high of 64. Sunday looks dreary, 58 for the high. Sunshine's back Monday, temperatures into the 70s, looking ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Of a fire in Litchfield yesterday, the Red Cross is helping a family of 6 who lived here. Heavy flames and thick smoke poured from the home on Cemetery Road. Again, we did reach out to fire officials for an update on the investigation, and we are still waiting to hear back.
Time for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Beautiful finish to the day. After a cloudy and cool start, we've got sunshine and a temperature of 66. We've got a couple of nice days ahead. The air is drying out, which means we'll cool off tonight, drop down into the 50s. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, looking at dry conditions across the area. With the weather remaining dry and with the winds picking up tomorrow, we have an elevated risk of brush fire spread. That means if there's any brush fire, it would spread quicker tomorrow compared to other days. Just a reminder, there is a statewide burn ban in effect for the next 2 weeks. Rain returns as we head into the weekend. This evening, again, temperatures remain in the 60s, partly sunny skies. We've got some warmer weather ahead as well. I'll look at the forecast that's coming up. Back over to you.
All right, let's talk about...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A lovely day across the region, at least in the afternoon when the sun finally came out. It's dry on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Got a few dry days ahead. Much needed dry days, too. We've had some dreary weather lately. This picture, a lot of folks starting to spot some fresh faces in town. The hummingbirds are back. A little bit earlier this year. Usually it's Mother's Day when they start coming out. This picture, though, from Caroline in Barneville, the first one spotted of the season. Nice to see them back. A reminder, with the weather being breezy tomorrow and with low humidity, brush fires can spread quickly. We do have that statewide burn ban in effect for the next 2 weeks. And it's days like tomorrow where, again, brush fires spread a little bit faster. Live look at downtown Utica, a temperature of 68 degrees, sunshine. We'll see a few clouds return as we head into this evening. Partly sunny skies tomorrow. Our UV index is at a 6. It's going to continue to get higher as we get closer to the summer solstice. And again, it's just a reminder that we're going to start thinking about wearing sunscreen more regularly as we get closer to summer. With the weather getting warmer, you might be thinking about planting, but hold off, at least for a couple more weeks. We don't have frost in the immediate future in the next 7 days, but it is possible to get frost here about through the end of May for most of us, and sometimes even early June in pockets of the Adirondacks. So very lovely day, current temperature of 66 degrees at Griffiths and Rome. We've got sunshine in store for the next couple of days as a relatively quiet weather pattern takes place. Showers mistiness to the north tonight, taking place across northern New York. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight lows drop down into the low 50s. Some patchy fog is possible by morning, but it doesn't look to last. Partly sunny skies tomorrow afternoon, slightly cooler than today, and you'll notice a breeze from the west with wind gusts between about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Temperatures climbing to the mid-60s. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy and dry. Overnight lows drop into the 40s. On Friday, partly sunny and warmer despite the cooler start. We're expecting highs to climb to near 70. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 53. Tomorrow, sunshine, temperatures in the mid-60s, again, breezy conditions. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. 71 on Friday. Rain returns for the weekend. Right now it looks to be late Saturday and into early Sunday, but we'll keep you posted. Partly sunny skies on Monday, 69. Temperatures into the 70s Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Time now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Turned out to be a nice evening today.
Yes.
And we got some great pictures sent in.
The birds are back.
Yes, they are.
This picture from Marcia in Ilion. We've seen a variety of different birds returning, including the hummingbird. The much anticipated hummingbird is back. And we've got some warm weather, too, as those birds are here a little bit earlier than usual. Usually hummingbirds are here around Mother's Day. But again, a little bit earlier this year. Current temperature is 62 degrees. It is cloudy. It is relatively mild. It's a comfortable night out there for early May standards. Looking at our radar, again, in clear air mode tonight, it's dry. Will remain dry here as we head into tonight. A reminder, with the weather being dry and breezy tomorrow, there is the elevated risk of wildfires. Moving, I should say, spreading because of the, again, the breezy conditions and the low relative humidity. And a reminder, 2 more weeks before the state burn ban comes to an end across central New York and, of course, all of New York State. Patchy fog tonight down to 53. We're tracking a couple of dry days ahead along with some rain as we head into the weekend. And look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A new flag raising.
The The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening, welcome back. Dry weather continues tonight and over the next couple of days. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. If you missed the sunset this evening, this was our view here on Smith Hill, taken at about 7:45. Sunset is actually after 8 these days, and it will be the case here as we head through May all the way through mid-August. Live look in downtown Utica, a temperature of 60 degrees. It's comfortable out there. We have that risk for brush fires spreading tomorrow because of the dry air and the wind. So just keep that in mind. The breeze is with us tomorrow, but we'll see light winds Friday and Saturday. The winds return on Sunday, but so does the rain. It does look like we're going to be dealing with some wet weather as we head into the weekend. Just a reminder, as we get closer to the summer solstice, we get into the time of the year where the sun angle is the highest, which means our most likely time to get a sunburn if you're going to be spending time outdoors. Tomorrow, you're going to want to be mindful of that, especially between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's when the sun is strongest. With the warmer weather gradually arriving, you might be thinking about getting the garden going, especially now that we're into May. But this is just your annual reminder that we get frost into May. Even though I don't see any in the extended outlook, that doesn't mean we can't get it beyond 7 days. In fact, even into the middle of May is usually the last frost in the Mohawk Valley. Late May for the higher elevations, sometimes even June for pockets of the Adirondacks. Again, a pretty mild evening across central New York. Some clouds are on the way from the west. Some showers to our north will miss us. Our weather stays generally dry here over the next couple of days. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, partly cloudy skies tonight. There could be some patchy fog overnight. Temperatures drop into the 50s. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, pleasant, just a little bit cooler than today, and more of a breeze, especially in the afternoon. Otherwise, a pretty nice day. Temperatures in the 60s. The weather looks dry tomorrow night, cooler. Overnight lows are expected to drop into the 40s. And then Friday warms up. Even though it starts out cooler, I'm expecting high temperatures to climb close to 70. Partly cloudy skies tonight, low 53. Tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny skies and breezy temperatures in the mid-60s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. 71 on Friday, partly sunny. Our dry weather comes to an end as we head into the weekend. Right now, Saturday looks dry in the morning, wet in the afternoon. We'll keep you posted. Showers and cooler on Sunday, 58. Dry Monday, warming up into the 70s Tuesday and Wednesday. And also, too, if you're wondering what that QR code is all about in the bottom of your screen, that is an easy way to download our Storm Tracker 2 weather app.
Do you get the MoCast on the weather app?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We can put that on there, though.
So MoCast is coming, though.
Yeah.
Because people are getting ready to mow. Have you mowed yet?
I've done it once.
You've done it once.
Yeah.
I'm still far behind. We got to work on that. All right, thanks, Bill. Well, time now for our first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Beautiful pictures. We've had so many sent in of birds. They're all back.
The birds are back. It's a good sign. Actually, a little earlier this year in a lot of spots by about 1 to 2 weeks. Part of it's the warmer weather.
Sure.
We appreciate the photos. Keep them coming. It's very optimistic to see pictures like these as life returns to the Mohawk Valley. Current temperature 57 degrees. It's pretty mild out there tonight, even for early May standards. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies. The dew point is up, but it won't be for very long. In fact, we're expecting some drier air to build in across the next couple of days. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's in clear air mode tonight, so we're here looking at dry conditions. With the dry air and with wind tomorrow, that will increase the risk of brush fires spreading. There's going to be an elevated risk for that. Just a reminder, we have a statewide burn ban in effect until May 14th. Only 2 more weeks to go for that. And again, it's days like tomorrow where we have that higher risk taking place. Patchy fog tonight, low of 53. Tracking some dry weather until the start of the weekend. Look at the forecast coming out. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A new flag.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Pleasant night across central New York. We're looking at dry weather. This is a live look at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The sunset from earlier this evening, in case you missed it, this is our vantage point here on Smith Hill. There's the television tower. And again, we had a beautiful sky here earlier this evening. We're sitting at 59 degrees, cooling off, but not very quickly for this time of the year. Live looking downtown Utica. The wind is back tomorrow. It's a breezy day. Looking at a west wind between 15 to 20 miles an hour. That would be the wind gusts. Could see locally higher gusts too. The winds become lighter on Friday and Saturday. It's breezy on Sunday. Again, the wind tomorrow, along with the drier air, could create the spread of brush fires. On Sunday, that's not going to be the case because of rainfall across the area. A reminder, the UV index is running high and higher this time of the year. It's up to a 6 tomorrow. Remember the sunscreen, especially between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's when the sun is strongest. As we turn the corner into the month of May, as the weather slowly gets warmer, just a reminder, we can and often get frost even into the middle of May here across the Mohawk Valley. You're going to see the 7-day forecast does not have frost in it, but heading into the middle of May, it's still possible. The higher elevations north and south of the Mohawk Valley, it's until late May that we typically see the last frost, and early June for pockets of the Adirondacks. So again, it's just too early to plant anything sensitive to frost. A couple more weeks though. Temperatures tonight, again, in the 50s. We're looking at dry weather. Some rain showers to the north. We'll stay to the north as low pressure across the Hudson Bay continues to advance to the east. And again, our weather looks pretty quiet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Some patchy fog is possible. Overnight lows in the low 50s. Beautiful day tomorrow. A breeze in the afternoon. Temperatures climbing to the mid-60s. Slightly cooler than today. Dry tomorrow night and cooler. Overnight lows look to drop into the 40s. On Friday, we'll see a return to sunshine, and it looks warmer with high temperatures in the upper 60s. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 53. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, temperatures in the mid-60s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Friday, we're up to 71, partly sunny. Of course, the rain returns this weekend. Just how things have been lately. It's not going to be for all eternity. Some rain showers here on Saturday as well as Sunday. Sunday looks to be the wetter of the 2 weekend days, but we'll keep you posted. Sunshine on Monday, rain showers in the 70s Tuesday and Wednesday.
And those sunny days are perfect days to get outside and do some events, maybe pick some flowers.
Yes, there you go.
Pick some flowers like you pick tulips. A couple of opening days today in our area in Kirkland. Savicki Farm Market on Route 12 opened its fields to those looking to cut their own flowers. Something to think about for Mother's Day. Just around the corner in Westmoreland, North Star Orchards opened up its doors to tulip cutting. For more details on both of these You Pick events, just visit our website, WKTV.com. Beautiful flowers. Coming up next, a meal and